Hey folks, Dr. Gerstmar from Aspire Natural Health. Hope you're having a fantastic day. So today we're continuing part 2 of the discussion we opened yesterday, which came from an absolutely fantastic meeting that I had with a wonderful person that we're working with who's seeing incredible results in their autoimmunity. They tried in the past, gotten some positive results, but really had a breakthrough at this point. And yesterday we talked about the two spirals, the downward spiral and the upward spiral, and how it is very common and easy to get trapped in the downward spiral. And even while that may help symptoms, the downward spiral ends up collapsing the quality of a person's life, making their life smaller and smaller and smaller. And that is absolutely not the definition of health and what we're looking for. So it's important that A, we try to sidestep the downward spiral and move to the upward spiral, or if we find ourselves in the downward spiral, to stop that downward progress, begin reversing it and moving upwards. Well, today we want to talk about the second key concept that came out of this conversation that I wanted to share with you. We talked about the two levels. I've been thinking about it a little bit more since yesterday. Really, we could expand this to talk about 3 levels, but what it really amounts to is getting beyond the surface issues, what we think is really the problem, and getting down to what is really the problem. Because the reality is, human beings, you, especially me as well, all of us, what is the problem is usually not the problem. Or said another way, what we think is the problem, most of the time, is not the actual real problem. It's the surface problem as opposed to the deep problem or the real problem. This kind of breaks down into 3 categories of treatment as well. So when we talk to someone about the healing journey, we talk to them about the 3 stages of the healing journey. Are you ready for those? Okay. The first stage is symptom relief, symptom control, symptom management, all the same kind of words. But the focus of the initial phase is to get symptoms under control, whether that's physical pain, emotional pain, the other digestive issues like diarrhea, gas and bloating, constipation, pain in the guts, or some other digestive issue that's going on for someone, or autoimmunity and the problems that arise from autoimmunity, pain, stiffness, numbness, other issues that are going on for someone. The first phase is about getting those symptoms under control. And this is important to realize because this is where the bulk of medicine actually is. So almost all conventional or regular doctors are focused here. They'll tell you they're not, but they're primarily focused here, using drugs to get symptoms under control for someone. And much of alternative, holistic, or natural medicine, whatever you'd like to call it, is also focused here, using herbs or nutrients or other therapies to get symptoms under control. And the reality is, this is what most people want. We talk till we're blue in the face about getting to the root causes, and most people, the vast majority of people, say, yes, that is what I want. But the reality is that most people, truly, what we want is we just want the darn symptoms to go away so we can feel okay again and we can get back to our life. And it's definitely harder for people to move on to the second and third phases. So this first phase of symptom control often takes about 1 to 3 months. Most people are feeling significantly better in terms of what's going on for them in 1 to 3 months. And so it's natural to want to quit at that phase. Great. I'm not having that diarrhea anymore, or the pain is much reduced, or the stiffness, or the low energy, or the low mood, or whatever other symptoms are going on. Often, but not always, often are better within 1 to 3 months. However, critically important here, there are a second and a third phase. The second phase is what we call short-term control. This usually is around 6 months on average. Some people a little bit longer, some people a little bit shorter, but we've kind of moved beyond just getting the symptoms under control, and we've really begun to get the underlying processes under control. We've worked on the gut, we've balanced the hormones, we've done some detoxification, we've gotten people's nutrient levels up to a reasonable level, and more. And again, this is a place where people are like, great, you know what? I feel good, but not only do I feel good, I feel the effects of all these changes that have gone on. It's another natural stopping place for people, and it's where we find the natural, integrative, holistic docs. If they go beyond symptom management, they often stop at this point. And we did too for a long time. The problem is we found over time, we've been doing this for more than a decade now. So as we continue to follow up and watch people, what happens if people stop at this phase? Unfortunately, the answer far too often is that things fall apart for people. So usually within 12 to 24 months, a year or two after they've done this, it is sadly common for all the health habits to have fallen apart for people. Things have flared back up or caused problems, which is why it's so crucial to move to the third phase, which is long-term control and management of the situation that's going on. And often this is the 10 to 12 month range. So symptom management, 1 to 3 months, short-term control, give or take about 6 months, long-term control and management, 10 to 12 months. And often we found when we carry people, we help and support them out to this phase, the results become permanent for people. The changes they've made are now habits. They understand fully what's going on in their body and what to do, how to adjust with life as things go along. We've had time to make long-term changes in what's going on for a person. These are the results that stick for people. So those are the 3 phases of the health journey: symptom management, short-term control, long-term control. Sustainability, another word we often use, is integration. It's become the new normal for people. Often at 6 months, they have done the things, but they haven't become the new normal for people. All right, the discussion for another day. Let's bring this back around to the 2 changes, the 2 levels we talked about: the superficial and the deep, or the fact that the problem, what we believe is the problem, is often not the real problem. So this person suffering with digestive issues and autoimmunity, the superficial problem, the first level, is making changes to their diet, taking supplements, working on their sleep, all of these issues. And this person saw tremendous benefit from that. Things were really improving. But what they had found in the past is that that path had led them into the downward spiral. We won't focus on that today, so go back and listen to yesterday's podcast for more about the downward spiral. It had helped them, but it wasn't sustainable long term. They hadn't been able to keep it up in the past. Things fell apart, and they ended up having a recurrence of their issues. So again, they got that second phase, short-term management. But to get to the deep phase, the real problem that we're talking about here, requires getting to that third piece, that long-term management. It requires getting onto the upward spiral. So for this particular individual, we found that the deeper problems beneath diet, beneath lifestyle, beneath supplements, beneath gut health, beneath all of these things, one of the major issues that came up for this person was fear and lack of control, right? The need to be very controlling in this person's life around schedules, around events, around emotions, around issues. And that need to be in control, and let's face it, control comes from what? Fear and anxiety. So that underlying fear and anxiety that was manifesting as a need to control was then bleeding over into all sorts of other issues for this person's life. So while we have them on a good diet, supplement regimen, working on their sleep and exercise and all these other factors that are necessary to improve symptoms, we found that a big piece of the puzzle for this person was working on that control, that need to be in control, and underneath that, even deeper, the fear and anxiety that's going on. So true healing in this case, yes, diet, yes, lifestyle, yes, supplements, yes, working on the gut, yes, all of these other issues for this person, but true, deep, lasting healing is going to come from working on that fear and that anxiety that manifests as control that then ripples out to all these other aspects of a person's life. So can you see how we say, listen, on the superficial level, without doing the diet, without taking the supplements, without working on the gut, without doing all of these issues, this person would not be seeing the benefits that they're seeing. But unless we move down beyond that to the deeper level, the real problem here, those changes are not going to last for years and decades and the rest of that person's life. Instead, when we combine the superficial level and we add the deep level to it, that's where magic happens. So that's why we talk about the 3 phases. With this individual, we're moving beyond just short-term control, and now we're moving into long-term control. And this requires not only time, but willingness on that person's part to face up. Listen, changing your diet is hard. Making adjustments to your lifestyle is challenging. Spending time and money and energy making these shifts and changes is definitely difficult. But making these deep, lasting, and fundamental changes, like addressing these places of fear and anxiety and the need to control in a person's life, is even more difficult. But if we truly want healing, this is the level that we need to go to. Again, this is healing that doesn't just last for a short time, lasts for years and decades and the rest of a person's life, and is not just about getting symptoms under control, though that's part of it, but truly causing a transformation in a person. This is going to help this person to live a bigger and a better life. All right, folks, that is it for me today. I hope you found this helpful. To me, this is one of the most profound pieces. I'm so incredibly proud of this person for recognizing these issues that are going on in their life and for being willing to face and tackle these issues. Other people, when they're not ready, can often turn away from these or refuse to face these issues. And in that regard, they're going to be spinning their wheels until they come to a place where they're ready to acknowledge and address these issues. This person is diving in head first, and I'm incredibly proud of them. All right, folks, that is it for me today. Listen, if this resonates with you, if this idea of the downward spiral and the upward spiral and the different levels, and the idea that true healing takes time, and a guide to help you work through this resonates with you, you find yourself saying, yes, this is something I want and I need, then I'm inviting you, get in touch with us. Let's have a chat. It's just a simple conversation. We'll find out more about you and what's going on. If you have digestive issues and autoimmunity, this resonates with you, you're friendly, you're coachable, you're willing to invest time, some money, and your energy into the healing process, let's have a conversation. All you need to do, send us a message, drop us an email, or give us a call. We'll set up a time to chat. We'll find out more about you, what's going on, and your goals, and we'll be able to tell you, are we the right fit to help you? If we are, we'll talk about next steps. We'll get things going to transform your life. If we're not, that is okay. We know we're not right to work with everyone, and we will do our darndest. We'll do everything we can to refer you to someone else who is a better match. So at the end of the conversation, you'll feel calm, happy, confident, and you'll know what the right steps are for you and your health. All right, folks, that is it for me today. Remember, give us a call, drop us a line, send us an email. Wishing you all the best. Until next time, take care.